Hello, thank you for watching this Red Pill Network report. I am Jane, and I will be your guide throughout the awakening. Today I will be unapologetically discussing the depravity of liberal retards. Please note, this video is not safe space approved, and likely to offend weak-minded individuals. You have been warned. Libtard. As repetitive as it sounds, it stands for liberal retard. An individual whose thinking process has been rendered impaired by political correctness and the failure to understand that people are responsible for their actions, and the world is not how lazy or stupid people are living. A Libtard wants to live in a fantasy world, in which life is the way that they wish it was, as opposed to dealing with life the way it actually is. The most idealistic Libtard envisions a time when science, technology, socialism, and enlightenment will eliminate all poverty, hunger, war, disease, injustice, unemployment and prejudice. It is a nice pipe dream, but human nature will forever stand in the way of that goal. Libtard reasoning, if actually present at all, is diametrically opposite to common sense. Metaphorically speaking, a Libtard is a sheep who thinks that their grasp of diplomatic nuance or metaphysical sensitivity will prevent their flock from being devoured by the world's Islamic/communist wolves. When America, the sheepdog, responds to wolf attacks, the Libtard judges these defensive actions as offensive and wolfish. Since Libtards are unable to recognize our enemies for what they are, they cannot be trusted to safeguard our future. Libtards' actions undermine America's educational system, economy, criminal justice system, military personnel, sovereignty, security, and freedoms, all the while apologizing for American exceptionalism. In a large and literal nutshell, a Libtard's goal in life includes one or more of the following: the establishment of a socialist utopia, aka a global nanny state, benevolent totalitarian control of the world's population through any means necessary, ever-increasing government micromanagement of private enterprise, aka clueless or pointless meddling, the adoption of laws, treaties and tax regulations that hinder America's competitiveness, the usurpation of the legislative process, at all levels, through judicial fiat, the filing of specious lawsuits, in order to thwart the will of the people, the promotion of the tyranny of the minority, the filing of specious lawsuits to shake down corporations for cold hard cash, under the guise of social responsibility, of course, the disproportionate taxation of citizens who have more money than they need, the redistribution of wealth from producers to non-producers, under the guise of fairness, the banning and confiscation of all privately owned guns, even though it has led to genocide in other times and regions of the world, the abolition of all private property rights, the destruction of all national sovereignty, with America being first, of course, the destruction of capitalism, the establishment of one religion, with no personal accountability, or the abolition of all religion, the appeasement of Islamic radicals and their American front groups like CARE, the Council for American Islamic Relations, the regulation, or banning, of all opposition media, under the guise of fairness, the appeasement of communist dictators and their American front groups, the further insertion of socialist ideology and indoctrination into public school curricula, the purposeful dumbing down of the masses through inane public school curricula and pedagogy, mass thought control through speech codes and political correctness, the further promulgation of the homosexual and pedophile agenda, the teaching of hate in all forms, superficially disguised as women's studies, African studies, etc., the establishment of worldwide socialized medicine, under the guise of fairness, the conservation of the environment over the conservation of the American economy, the demonization of attempts to make English America's national language, world peace, which genocidal dictators define as the absence of conflict. Dead men cannot resist your brutal oppression. The conservation of the environment over the conservation of humanity, the promotion of abortion as birth control, eugenics, and teaching the theory of evolution as fact, even though the second law of thermodynamics precludes it from the get-go, the abolition of individual freedom, anarchy. Note from Jane to all malcontents: if America is truly evil, please pick yourself a better country and get the fuck out. Otherwise, unplug from the group think tank by not only listening to other idiots that agree your point of view. Get a real fucking job. Move out of your mom's basement. And get a fucking life, because you obviously have way too much time on your hands. Loser. Further, most libtards are pantheists or New Agers, agnostics, atheists, liberal Jews, liberal Catholics, that try and fill their void by making a so-called difference in the world by participating in protests, rallies, marches, bike rides, in a feckless attempt to change whatever supposedly needs changing. While their self-serving nature typically results in post-protest gatherings that often feature excessive drinking, drug abuse, and impromptu fornication to celebrate the perceived victory. Because conservatives take responsibility for themselves and their children, have real jobs, underpin the economy, and value their time, their counter-protesting is often negligible. Basically, we have better things to do. Not surprisingly, there is a thread of anti-Americanism that runs through these ideas. A libtard cannot stomach the idea that America, despite its faults, is the greatest country in the world. As such, he or she sees it as their duty to tarnish the country's current and past image using all available means, including cherry-picking facts and using innuendo, half-truths, lies, and fabrications. Thank you for your support, and for watching this report by the Red Pill Network. Please subscribe for daily updates and live streams. Please be kind and share. And be sure to live every day as if it is your last.